Hi, welcome to this To The Point tutorial. Many of you are new to digital photography and you may be wondering how you can improve your photos. Most cameras today take really good pictures. What comes out of the camera is pretty good. There are a few things though that experienced photographers will do to just about every photo. And I'm going to show you 3 of those things today in this To The Point tutorial. We're going to do 3 things that you can do very quickly that will improve most of your photos. Okay, let's get going with the first thing. What you're seeing is a Photoshop image here. I think what I'm going to show you will work in Elements as well as most photo programs will have similar functions. On the left here we have the tool palette, and over here I've got the layer palette out, and you see this image here. That image is a representation of the big image here, so that image is in fact on this layer, and we're going to add some more layers. The first thing we're going to do is check the range from deep black to white. And we're going to use what's called an adjustment layer for that. If you look down at the bottom here on this layer palette, you'll see the adjustment layer symbol, the white-black circle. I'm going to click on it and take out what's called the levels box. Okay, there we have the levels. This shows you kind of the range that we've captured from light at the top to total black at the bottom here. And in this case we're pretty good. We filled up the box. What we're looking for is to make sure that this outer white pointer is selecting everything it can, and that this one here is selecting everything it can. In this image it pretty much is, so you don't have to adjust it. Other images you will find that the image may end right here, yet the pointer's way out there, and what you have to do is drag the pointer in so that this pointer and this pointer down here, the black one, are actually selecting the image as captured. In this case it's okay, so it's not making a lot of difference, but it's the first thing you check. So let me just click OK, and you can see now over in our layers palette here that adjustment effect is there. It's not going to make much difference because, as I said, there was nothing really to fix the eyeball. If I turn the eyeball off, turn it on, you can see there's not much difference. The second thing to check now, we've checked that range from white to black, is to get out the curves adjustment tool, and that will allow us to adjust the gray levels in other parts of the image. So let's get, this is a very powerful tool. There it is. Incidentally, these adjustment layers are really good because they don't affect the original image. If you change your mind later, you can just delete this layer here called curves and it'll be gone, or you can click on it and go back and readjust it. So it's very flexible, it's non-destructive, doesn't destroy your original image. That is really the beauty of layers. If you don't have a program to edit photos that has layers, you should really upgrade to one that does include layers. What we're going to do here, there's many things you can do. As you pull this curve, you can click on it. As you pull this way, as you can see, it lightens the image. As you pull this way, it darkens the image. And up here it's more effect on the lights, and down here it has more effect on the darks. So what I'm going to do is just click right in the middle there, put a spot there, and I'm going to create the sort of famous gentle S curve, which is what we do to give snap to most photographs. So to do that, we go up into this upper quadrant here where the highlights are, click in about the middle, and just pull it up a bit, and that'll just slightly brighten the light values. Let's go down into the bottom here and then pull it down a bit to darken the darker values, and you'll see that gives a little snap to the photo. Now you see the curve is very gentle. Don't do anything radical or you're going to get some very strange and unreal effects unless that's your intention. But generally speaking, you just want a very subtle S here. Very smooth, very subtle S curve. So that's all there is to it. Let's click OK. Now let's check it with and without the curves tool. And there it is there in the palette. You can see the eyeball. If I turn the eyeball, click on it to turn it off, we're back to the beginning. Click to turn it on, and you can see the snap pop into the photo. A really, really good thing to do. It gives it some depth, some snappiness. That's what I like to think. Okay, one more thing to show you now. We're going to do number 3 in this sort of basic thing, and that's to get out the hue saturation tool, same spot as the others, and here's the hue saturation. This is good because you can look for colors that you want to emphasize or de-emphasize, and this tool will help you. Sometimes your colors need to have a little more depth of color in them. Sometimes they may have too much. Don't pick master because that will affect the color of the whole image. Look for a specific color. For example, if we pick blues, we can affect the sky. So I pick blue now, and I'll take the saturation here, and let's decrease the saturation. And you can see the blue is fading. If I increase, I can have an exaggerated blue sky, which to my eye looks a little bit too much. Actually, the blue that I have now is not too bad, so I'm going to leave it more or less where it was. Let's check the yellow out. If you look at this image, you can see there's a fair amount of yellow in it. Again, I'm going to use the saturation and just see what happens if I bring it down. You see what's happening there? Now this was sunset light, so it is yellowish light, and you don't want to take it all out. But you don't want to add any more. It starts to look really garish. I, in fact, will cut it just a bit, say by 5 or so. And then we can go do the greens if you like, and greens aren't bad. If I bring up the saturation a bit, it's not making a big difference. In some spots it is. I'm going to leave it pretty much where it is. So there you go. That's the hue saturation tool. Just tweak your colors a little bit, play with it. Mostly use the saturation control. You can use the lightness and hue if you want. You'll see that they have different effects. So I click OK, and there we have it again. And again, you can turn the eyeball off and on to see the effect. It's quite subtle, and that's usually what you want, a pretty subtle effect, unless your original photograph is way off to start with. So there you go. 1, 2, 3. Put your digital photos through it. Check the white to black level with the levels control here. Take out the curves and do that gentle S to give it snap. That's one of the most important things you can do. And then adjust the colors a bit. Of course, if you're going to print, you need to sharpen. If you're going to the web, you need to sharpen and do some resizing. But we'll leave that for another tutorial. Take care.